A deadly home invasion in High Point.
That's right. Police say the home was targeted and one person is dead. WFMY News 2's Amber Lake is live near the home where it happened. Amber, what can you tell us?
Right, guys, so police say that the break-in happened at this home on Westdale Drive in High Point, where a man lost his life. Now, officers left the area just a bit ago, but for hours today, this entire home was surrounded by crime scene tape. High Point police said that they received a call of an assault with a deadly weapon early this morning. When they got here, they found that someone shot and killed a man during a break-in early Thursday. Investigators believe the home was targeted, and this was not a random act. Officers say the suspect was involved in other crimes in Kernersville before targeting this specific home in High Point. Neighbors I talked to say this is a quiet neighborhood where everyone looks out for others. So when they saw police cars this morning, they were shocked.
You know, it was just kind of odd. It was kind of something that we don't see. We don't have police that drive around our neighborhood. So when I saw 3 or 4 of them this morning, I was a little concerned about what was going on.
Now, as far as the suspect is concerned, we don't know much. What we do know is that officers are looking for at least one person involved in this incident that happened early this morning. Now, when I came out here just a few hours ago, there were family members of the man who was shot and killed. They were understandably upset. They were holding each other during this tough time. We will update you whenever we learn more. Live in High Point, Amber Lake, WFMY News 2.
Amber, thank you. Another big story we are following this afternoon. Charges against a triad student accused of threatening Elkin City schools just last night. Now, all schools were closed today to investigate the threats.
The district says it used tips, video footage from the school, and bus cameras to find the student. Elkin police say it was an isolated incident and there was no threat to students or staff.
The district says not only will the student face criminal consequences, but they will be punished according to the school's policies. This incident comes about a week after Elkin City Schools requested money to install metal detectors on campus. Classes will resume as normal tomorrow.
The town of Walnut Cove is under a boil water advisory for the next 48 hours. The town manager says it's a precaution after multiple water line breaks. The issue even forced Stokes County schools to cancel classes for 2 elementary schools and a middle school. The town says workers have been repairing the leaks since last night and are now working to refill the water tanks. Town leaders expect water to be fully restored by 6 p.m. and the Walnut Cove Fire Department has bottled water for anyone who needs it. In Guilford County schools, there's a renewed push to stop the violence. Alumni from Smith and Dudley hosted a campaign this morning to do that.
Organizers hope to inspire positivity amongst students. WFMY News 2's Daniel Cruz spoke to a couple of alums about the change they are trying to create.
Yeah, for many of these students, they're just starting to plan their futures. Some aspire to go to college, others hope to open their own business. Both are paths that several alum took that came back to Dudley today, sharing their success stories. The hope was to inspire students to be successful, regardless of which career path they chose to take. These mentors also hope that their message will reduce violence in the community.
Coming and sitting with these guys and talking to them about their future, talking to them about our past and what problems we went through that can help them not go through those same problems, that is what's going to change the narrative. That's what's going to change the trajectory of these students, and that's what's going to change this whole society.
Marshall is a Dudley sophomore, and he's juggling his future plans on whether to open his own business or attend UNC Chapel Hill. Having this opportunity to hear from alum about their success gives him and his peers the attitude that they too can be successful.
Some of us in here don't have people to talk to or to mentor us, so I feel like this is a great opportunity for young men like myself to reach out to other adults or other men and talk to them about opportunities that we could have in the future.
Organizers held a similar event earlier this week over at Smith High School. They hope to get involved in as many schools as they can, being a positive influence for the next generation.
Daniel, thank you. Safety measures are being put in place at the Carolina Classic Fair. Metal detectors have been set up at the entrances. The fair kicks off tomorrow morning in Winston-Salem. Officials say they are looking forward to a safe week of fun and food.
the biggest thing is the metal detectors that we started implementing recently within the past few years, and we're continuing to have metal detectors at each gate, making sure that we have show pro staff and fair staff at every single gate monitoring during opening hours and closing hours of the fair as well.
And as we speak, state officials are wrapping up inspections at the fairgrounds. They are checking all 54 rides to make sure they are safe for riders. Hargrave says the Carolina Classic will have something for everyone.
We have new deals and specials for the whole family, starting with the 100 minutes of free rides from 3 p.m. to 4:40 p.m. this Friday, September 29th. We have $5 admission for all ages this Friday, which is something we normally don't do. We have $2 Tuesday, where you get $2 admission. We have $2 food specials, and each ride is $2. We have a lot of specials, and we have a lot of great entertainment this year, a lot of new roaming attractions coming this year, and of course some new foods that the whole family can expect.
A lot of specials. You can find the full list of everything on the Carolina Classic Fair's website. Claire, this weekend is the perfect time to make it out to the fair with the beautiful weather we are having.
Much different than yesterday, where we had those pesky clouds in the forecast, but with offshore low pressure continuing to pull itself offshore and high pressure building in, allowing for lots and lots of sunshine, like you can see right behind me in Winston-Salem. Again, much different weather story from what we saw just yesterday. Temperatures in the lower to middle 70s right now. 73 in Greensboro and in Burlington. A look at the satellite and radar, also looking pretty nice. A couple of scattered showers in portions of eastern Tennessee, but as they reach the mountains, looks like models are suggesting it is going to dissipate before making it to the Triad. Very slim shower chances as we head into tonight and in the next couple of days, thanks to high pressure building in. Again, a couple of clouds possible throughout the day on Friday, but again, rain chances going to remain slim to none throughout your weekend plans. Lots and lots of sunshine heading into Saturday as well, with high pressure continuing to move over the area. Heading into tonight, we're back into the 60s, slim shower chances, lots of sunshine for your afternoon and evening plans. Now, as we head into the weekend, this is what you can expect. Really can't get much better than this. Middle and upper 70s with overnight lows in the middle and upper 50s. Lots and lots of sunshine continuing into this weekend, and also in your full 7-day forecast. Not seeing any rain chances, warming up as we head into next week.
Claire, thank you. Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. An update is expected tomorrow on the future of the Greensboro's migrant facility, formerly known as the American Hebrew Academy. City and county leaders are scheduled to meet virtually with federal officials to learn more about plans for the facility to house up to 800 unaccompanied migrant teenagers. Mayor Nancy Vaughn says the site is not expected to open until next year. It was initially supposed to happen in August, but those plans changed.
A heads up for Greensboro drivers, there's a major resurfacing project this weekend that'll impact miles of I-40. Starting at 9 tomorrow night, the state is closing all westbound lanes from the I-85 split to Freeman Mill Road. It's an 8-mile closure that includes all entrance ramps, plus Highway 29 at the Market Street exit. Detours will be posted. The interstate should reopen Monday at 6 a.m.
And health officials are encouraging people to get their flu and updated COVID boosters. Starting Monday, the Forsyth County Health Department will be offering the shots free of charge. They say you can get both vaccines at the same time, no insurance needed.
I think we spoke it into existence. NASCAR is returning next year to North Wilkesboro Speedway. NASCAR just announced the All-Star race will be coming back. It comes after a successful All-Star race at the track back in May. Now, prior to that race, the Speedway repaired the pavement, added new seating, and improved the grounds. The Wilkes County Chamber of Commerce says the decision kind of comes as a surprise.
I don't think we anticipated that happening because, you know, there's so many other opportunities for other tracks to get that race. But it was very successful in 2023. We're just very appreciative to NASCAR and to Speedway Motorsports for giving us the opportunity and boosting our economy, helping our people out. I mean, this really is so good for our community. It really is. Not something we ever expected, but we'll take it.
How about that? The Speedway says people who bought tickets to this year's All-Star race will get a pre-sale opportunity early next week. Tickets for the general public will go on sale next Thursday.
Ooh, those nearby businesses.
I
That's
know.
all I think about sometimes when we talk about these big events as well too. And we've done so many stories where we talk to businesses. I'm just really looking forward and excited, especially with that economic boost.
I want to go. I didn't get to go, and I would like to go, even if I can't get in, just to be an excitement, like you said. Around it.
I'm kind of surprised that this announcement came so soon because, I mean, well, the All-Star race isn't for another 7-8 months. But, I mean, great for North Wilkesboro Speedway.
I imagine it's a lot of preparation as well too, even as far as 7 to 8 months as well, maybe possibly.
All right,
So.
3 of us going to come up with some business that we can put out there during the All-Star race. I don't know
Nice
what it is,
tent
but
and
What would it be?
everything.
We can get earplugs with the 2 on them,
that's a great idea.
and we can write "Never Too Safe."
That's it. Done. Chad Silver, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't you try to steal it. Out
We'll
there.
be right back.
All right, I am talking about being amicable if possible and why it's important. Okay, great.
Welcome back. It's no secret that Kevin Costner and his ex-wife had a rough divorce. The latest headlines are that the two are talking again now that their divorce is settled. Well, this got us thinking about working your way through your relationships, whether you stay together or you just simply go your separate ways. Well, this is what Blanca Cobb, who has a master's degree in psychology, and I are talking about today. Blanca, let's get right into it. Why should you consider working your way through a breakup or rough patch in your relationship?
Because it's going to bring you peace. You can't have peace if you're arguing when you're either trying to resolve a situation or you're trying to decide to go your separate ways. When you can talk civilly, it's more likely that you can resolve the situation faster and you're better able to protect your emotional health. Why? Because you're more peaceful. There isn't a lot of arguing and you're not going at each other back and forth.
Speaking of emotional health, how do you deal with your emotions?
You want to deal with your emotions privately. Unless something happens in the moment where you have to say, hey, I feel like this is getting a little too tense in our conversation. Why don't we just talk at a different time? But when you talk, when you're emotional, what happens a lot of times, it's like you stop listening. You hear, but you're not really listening. It's like fuel that you add to a fire because you become more sensitive to what's being said and what you're seeing in their body language.
Yeah, that's right. And how do you talk to each other without arguing?
The biggest thing is not to blame. So many times people are blaming the other person. If you only did, if you didn't do, we wouldn't be in this situation. Blaming isn't going to get you anywhere because it's not going to change what's already happened. And what happens is it increases defensiveness on the person who feels like they're being blamed. And guess what? More than likely, they're going to throw the blame right back on situations you haven't even thought of. It's better just to stick to the facts, leave the emotions at the side, and then focus on the goal. Remember on your goal. Oh, right. We want to work this out, or yeah, we want to go our separate ways, but let's see how peacefully and amicably we can do this.
Yeah, great advice there, Blanca. Thank you. You can continue the conversation with Blanca on her Facebook page, Blanca Cobb, body language expert. We'll be right back.
It has been 1 year since Hurricane Ian wiped out parts of the southern coast, and many are still recovering. One of the hardest hit areas, Sanibel, Florida, where they've got a lot of cleaning up to do.
I have been on Sanibel this past year as people and businesses have been working to move forward. I was here when Bailey's General Store was demolished, when Doc Ford's was reopened, the relighting for the Sanibel Lighthouse, as well as when the Sanibel School welcomed their students back. And the one thing I noticed from all of this is just how the community has been coming together. And while Sanibel has come a long way over this past year, there is still so much left to do. As you drive down the street, you can see vegetation is beginning to come back. The debris has all been removed, but there is still lots of construction going on. Only 100 out of the over 500 businesses that were on Sanibel are back in operation. That's only 20% of what they had before. Only about 1,500 residents out of 6,500 have been able to return to the island. And while work is being done, they still don't have any condos back for residents to move in. The island has definitely taken an economic hit as well. They've been struggling with tourism as there's only limited places for vacationers to stay. But they recently celebrated the Sanibel Island Beach Resort reopening, putting 98 rooms back online. I spoke with the mayor and residents about how they are feeling 1 year in.
One of the things that I think back on this past year, this event was something that united our community because everyone, no matter how big or small, was impacted by Hurricane Ian.
It changed my life forever.
I want to see how far we've come in 1 year.
I know it's going to take many, many years to really recover.
This 1 year means, we are strong, and even though it's not a celebration, it kind of is. It's a celebration of us and our strength, especially the people on all the islands, their strength.
Sanibel has come such a long way, and the mayor wants people to know that they are open. All of their beaches are back, and hopefully you can come out and visit.
Lots of clouds yesterday, but the weather story is changing, and that's all thanks to low pressure pushing away and offshore and high pressure building in. So lots and lots of sunshine, not only for today, but also as we head into your weekend. Going to be the final weekend here of September before we make our way back into October. Temperatures right now reflecting those fall temperatures in the lower and middle 70s, 74 in High Point, 73 in Greensboro and in Burlington. Notice big picture wise, we're currently watching this low pressure system push away from the Carolinas the next couple of days. Warmer air coming in as high pressure also sweeps more south toward our area, so allowing those temperatures to grow back into the middle and upper 70s heading into this upcoming weekend. Going to be an absolutely gorgeous one. Lots and lots of sunshine, also as depicted here in the high res futurecast. Again, couple of clouds, but I'm not expecting any rain chances for any of your outdoor weekend plans for Friday, Saturday, even into Sunday. And again, that's all thanks to high pressure building into the area forecast planner into tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine. We're kicking off the day in the 60s before we make our way back into the middle and upper 70s. Tonight, we're in the middle and upper 50s, partly cloudy and cool. Tomorrow, middle and upper 70s. Full 7-day forecast. You'll notice into next week, lots and lots of sunshine emojis. That continues and heading into the weekend.
Fall has arrived and you can feel it in the air. And not only is it sweater weather, but it's the season where we see the leaves change to that pretty fall color.
Pumpkin patch is also a hot spot this time of year. One in California is on a mission to grow the largest one on the West Coast.
So fall is in the air, which means probably in your mind you're thinking about heading to a pumpkin patch. But the pumpkin patch we're checking out today is not your ordinary one. We're here in Citrus Heights checking out the massive pumpkins that are being grown by the team of Ron Root and Nick Kennedy. Now, this duo makes up the California Pumpkins, and they have 3 massive pumpkins that they're growing in their patch right now, including this boy, the Pohaku, which is the massive 2,400-pound pumpkin. That's right, you heard that right. You do not want this rolling over your toe, and they are bringing this to compete in Half Moon Bay to see if they can take home the prize of biggest pumpkin. So they're hopefully on track to get it done. This pumpkin is not only massive, but it's also beautiful, and just like I'm sitting on the throne right now, they're looking to take home that top prize and make us all proud right here in our region.
You know what's funny? It looks like a beanbag chair.
I'm glad she did that. I would have sat on it too.
I was afraid she was going to mess it up, like break it or something.
Right, because if I was the farmer, I'd be like, I'm trying to grow the world record here, and you're just sitting on it.
Well, they didn't say stop, so.
Hopefully she asked before she did it.
It kind of looks a little like it's glowing in the inside of it as well too. Like it has a little bit of like different colors. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
It was definitely a neat color, like a white, pinkish
Yeah,
Barbie.
purple.
It's a Barbie.
Barbie pumpkin.
It's a Barbie
It's
pumpkin.
It's hard to just imagine it. I don't know, but they're real.
I know.
They're huge.
I have heard when they grow stuff that big that you can't really eat it. It tastes horrible. I don't know why or what that has to do with it. But
Oh, I'm sure.
I wonder, could you imagine if the pumpkin seeds were like by scale? You
Yeah.
know, like it'd be like this big for one pumpkin.
You'd be eating a pumpkin seed like a sandwich.
No, but that was pretty neat to see though. I've never seen a pumpkin at that size. I was like, is that a real actual
They have them
pumpkin?
at the state fair.
Yes.
They do, and they
Okay,
do
I've
like
never seen
rewards
them.
for whoever can grow the biggest ones. So I've seen some pretty big ones, but that
Not
one
like
was
that,
huge.
right? That's true.
We're going to leave you with a fun fact here. Did you know there are 150 different varieties of pumpkins?
150. That's a lot.
Now
The
you
more
know.
you know. We'll be right back.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, can you hear me, Angela? Jalen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Welcome back to the 4 to 5. This is Sydney.
Chad. I just saw it.
Chad gave his signal, and
I
should have done that earlier. Claire.
What is that all about?
I don't know. Sometimes
it's what he does.
Sometimes I tip my hat. You know.
I thought I saw an S
How do you do?
for your like silver. I thought I saw an S. But.
And roll.
It reminds me of like an old game show host when they used to say,
yeah,
like Dick Clark
like, yeah.
would say, see ya. So funny.
Oh, welcome to the 4 to 5. I hope y'all are having a good Thursday. We're one step closer to Friday, right? And the weather was beautiful too today.
Oh my gosh. And it's gonna be beautiful heading to this weekend. I'm not giving anything away right now. You're gonna have to wait for that.
Okay.
But today, I mean, the sun came back out. Can't complain.
I look forward to that report. But first, some good news for Panther fans. Rookie quarterback Bryce Young returned to practice yesterday after missing last week's game with an ankle injury. Now, he was able to participate fully at practice, meaning as long as he avoids any setbacks, we should see him back on the field at Bank of America Stadium this Sunday, or at Bank of America Stadium. Also this Sunday, the Panthers will host the Minnesota Vikings. Both teams are currently winless at this time. The game kicks off at 1 p.m.
The Carolina Panthers roster has several new faces, but only 2 of them have ties to the Triad. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey went to Bank of America Stadium to catch up with the 2 players who honed their skills at North Carolina A&T.
Well, to my fellow Aggie family, you may not know the name Ricky Lee III, but you should. He's a graduate from North Carolina A&T who also happens to play left tackle for the Carolina Panthers. But he's not the only Aggie with the Panthers at the moment, because the MEAC's all-time rushing leader Tariq Cohen is now on the practice squad, just waiting for an opportunity to show the world that he still is one of the best to ever do it.
Man, it's been a grind, man. It's got to the point where I don't even think about it now. I just get up and go. Yeah, it's definitely been a journey, just taking it day by day. You know, so that's something I always live by, taking it day by day, try not to get overwhelmed, you know, by anything. But.
For Ricky Lee III, his journey to the NFL has been filled with ups and downs and even uncertainty at times, but he's grateful for it all.
I feel like I belong, man. I feel like I was supposed to be here. I've been playing it for so long, you know, as a kid, and then, you know, being in that moment, that's stuff you dream of. And I wasn't nervous or anything, had no anxiety, which is like, this is where I'm supposed to be at, man. It felt like home. And so, yeah, like I said, I'm blessed to be here. I'm happy to be here.
Lee, an undrafted free agent, sees most of his action on special teams at the moment, but he knows his time is coming soon. There are only 20 players currently in the NFL who come from historically black colleges or universities, and Carolina now has 3, Ricky Lee III, Claudine Sherilis, and 2018 NFL All-Pro, Tariq Cohen.
I'm loving it right now. You know, I feel like I'm a pretty smart player, so I can, you know, adapt and adjust. And I really feel like it's mostly about getting into shape, you know, getting that football shape back into me, dropping a couple more pounds, just get all that speed back. So, you know, just feeling real confident about where I'll be in the next couple weeks.
Cohen, who has been out of the league since 2020 due to complications from multiple injuries, is now a part of the Panthers practice squad and ready to make a difference when his name is called. Plus, he might just have a fellow Aggie up front blocking for him when his time comes.
Oh, it's lit. It's lit, man. You know, he blocked Si. You know, they made it up at A&T, so it's good to hear him yelling it at practice. Made me feel like I'm back home. The Aggie family is one of the things that shook me back. That's why I moved so close to, you know, Greensboro. I stay in High Point now, and I feel like that's one of the main things that shook me back.
No matter how this stop in Charlotte ends for Cohen or Lee, they're thankful for the endless love and support they've gotten from the Aggie family along the way.
I appreciate everybody who, you know, put a prayer up for me. I definitely think that contributed to my, you know, shaking back and the success I will have going forward.
I just want to say I appreciate y'all, appreciate the support and everything, and Aggie proud, man.
And as of right now, Cohen will not be active against the Vikings, but Ricky Lee III is listed as the second string left tackle, so make sure you look out for big number 6-1.
Gosh, how exciting though for them.
Tariq was the man.
Unbelievable.
My favorite part when he played for North Carolina A&T, just the backflips he would always do.
Yes.
You know, I mean, like such like a showman, you know, and so good, and he could back it up too.
Absolutely. So Tariq and I are actually the same age. We were in school together the whole time I was there.
Wow.
And I mean, literally the first time I saw him play football, I was like, oh, I would never miss another game. It was unbelievable to see, you know, the things that he was able to do and the things he's been able to overcome now to get back to this point in his career. And then we're just so proud of young Ricky as well. You know, Tariq was fortunate enough to be drafted. Young Ricky, he had to be undrafted, go through mini camp, training camp,
hard road,
survive several different types of cuts and watching guys leave the locker room. and he was finally one of the last men standing in the 53. So just so proud and happy for him as well.
Did Tariq go to the Bears originally?
Yeah, he was with
That's
the Bears
what I
originally.
thought.
Yeah, he was 2018
That's right.
All-Pro punt returner, first team, 2-time Pro Bowler. I mean, he was one of the best with the football in his hands when he was healthy, when he was playing those first 3 years. And, you know, unfortunately, injury kind of struck him. Yeah. Had some personal issues as well, but he looks to be all the way back, and I can't wait till they activate him.
Yeah.
Panthers need some lightning.
Our videographers used to say, just follow Tariq.
That's all you got to do.
The game.
That's where the ball's going.
Right there.
That's right.
And wish them all the best.
All right, in case you missed it, the state is now making it easier for you to go see the Carolina Panthers. DOT is tweaking the train schedule for 4 of the Panthers' home games this year. Train 73 will now leave earlier on game days. The hope is that more people can use the train to get to Charlotte. The route makes stops in Greensboro, Burlington, High Point, and the changes will take effect for this Sunday's home game. I've done that 3 times to take the train down to Charlotte for the game, and it is great.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that parking, right? Because sometimes that can just be a mess.
No, it's like a $6 cab or Uber ride up to the stadium. You got time to eat lunch, do the game, and then when you walk out, all the Ubers are lined up. You just hop in one and go back home.
You skipped the most important step, Eric.
Which is?
Hydration.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I hear that it's quite the party on the way down.
It is. It is. And it's funny because a lot of people on the way back are just sleeping.
Yeah.
Sleep on the train. You don't have to drive.
After having a long day out there, enjoying the game, you know, taking part of fun activities and things of that nature. So.
Have any of y'all taken like the Amtrak or one of those type of trains before? I did it for the first time this summer. When I went home to St. Louis, I took it to Chicago. It was great.
It's
easy.
easy.
It was great. It was
I just
super
did
simple.
it last weekend. I took my kids to Charlotte on one just because they'd never experienced it. So much fun.
My favorite was taking it to the Lexington Barbecue Festival because you know they have that one stop, one day every year, and so that was fun because they drop you off right there.
That's perfect. All right, let's talk about our forecast. Let's get Claire.
What a beautiful day we've had so far across the Triad. That's thanks to high pressure building into the area, and we're closing in on the end of September, the beginning of October here in just a couple of days. Here's what we've seen thus far. 13 days above average, also 13 days below average. 1 day at average temperature. Overall, taking all these numbers, adding up, taking the mean, we've been sitting right at about normal, and that's kind of where we're at currently. Temperatures are in the lower and middle 70s across the Triad, 73 in Reedsville, and that's all thanks to high pressure moving in, allowing for more sunshine, more heat over the area into this afternoon in the 70s. Gorgeous day though outside, not seeing a lot of clouds either, with rain chances remaining slim as we head into tonight. And in the future cast, also showing us that those rain chances are going to remain slim heading into Friday and also into your weekend plans. Whether you're doing anything outdoors, activities, lawn work, whatever it may be, it's going to be a gorgeous weekend to be outdoors. Middle and upper 70s. Next 12 hours, we're back down into the 60s into the weekend. Overnight lows in the middle and upper 50s. Very, very comfortable. Pretty much a copy and paste forecast for both Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. Middle and upper 70s. Full 7-day forecast. You'll notice lots and lots of sunshine with high pressure sticking around well into next week.
House Republicans held their first hearing today as part of an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. As expected, during the hearing, Republicans attacked the president and Democrats defended him.
The House Oversight Committee held its first hearing into whether President Joe Biden should face impeachment charges. But for the GOP chairman, it's not much of a question.
The House Oversight Committee will examine over 24 pieces of evidence revealing Joe Biden's corruption and abuse of public office.
Republicans allege the Biden family received millions of dollars in foreign money through Hunter Biden's business dealings. And when the Department of Justice began investigating, President Biden tried to protect his son.
Hunter Biden cashed in by arranging access to Joe Biden, the family brand.
Whether President Biden directly benefited from his son Hunter's business dealings sparked contentious debate during Thursday's hearing.
The committee has received 12,000 pages of bank records. Here they are, right in front of us, printed double-sided, and not a single page shows a dime going to President Joe Biden.
The courts actually have rejected that. They've said that money going to family members is in fact a benefit.
The principle of American law is that people are responsible for their own conduct and not the conduct of their adult children. Is that right?
That's correct.
Thank you.
The committee intends to subpoena Hunter Biden and the president's personal and business bank records as early as this week.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Now, 7 Republicans vying for their party's presidential nomination tried to outshine each other during last night's debate at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in California. Former President Donald Trump skipped the second GOP debate and the one in August. His party rivals are hoping to gain traction among voters before the Iowa caucuses formally kicks off the nomination process in less than 4 months.
Kia and Hyundai are recalling more than 24 vehicle models over potential fire risks. It impacts more than 3 million vehicles. Federal regulators say Hyundai models might have a brake fluid leak that could spark a fire. They say there's a risk for some Kias from a possible electrical short. Automakers are urging owners to park outside and away from buildings for the time being.
There's another recall parents should be on the lookout for. Roughly 260,000 Rainbow Road Series board books have been recalled over a choking hazard for small kids. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the small rings that bind the book together can become detached. Now, there are no reports of injuries so far. Consumers can contact parent company Make Believe Ideas for a refund.
To make sure you're up to speed on this story, the Whole Foods in the Sears Plaza at Friendly Center remains closed due to asbestos. A spokesperson for Whole Foods says asbestos was found in a non-public area while crews were demolishing the next door building, the Sears building. Employees are still getting paid for their scheduled shifts. Now, this of course is a disruption for Whole Food shoppers, but that's not all. There are folks who were scheduled to return their Amazon orders at that Whole Foods, and as you know, you only get so much time to return your order. Well, Carolyn wrote on Facebook, I need to make a return, and I was authorized to drop it off at the Greensboro Whole Foods store. Well, now I am afraid that I'm going to miss the return window. I cannot figure out how to get in touch with Amazon to ask how I can switch the return location. I can't find a customer service number to ask. Their return site does not address this. Can anyone help? All right, online shopping, it's easy, right? Until it's not, and then there's no phone number to call. I'm sure we can all relate to something like this. Yes,
I've had plenty of issues even with Amazon. You can't call a number. The good part is you can reach out to them and then they'll call you right back. But I mean, I hate when there's not a phone number to call.
I've actually never returned any packages from Amazon, but I know several people who have had a tough time dealing with that.
I like it that when you use the UPS store,
right?
Yes,
because then you just go there.
That's
and go,
how I
here
do
it
it
is.
too.
Same.
Now, oftentimes I get in a situation where if there's a problem, I'm just going to Google it, right, and hope that it's on the website somewhere or that someone else has written about it. Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay, so as luck would have it, Carolyn posted her question on Julie's Facebook page. See what I did there, as luck would
Julie
have
Luck.
it?
Ah, nice.
Let me show you what happened. Julie answered her saying, the same happened to me. Use your app to cancel the return, then start a brand new return and choose a different drop-off location like UPS or Kohl's. So you never know who's going to be dealing with the same issue you are. It is just worth the ask.
Yep.
That's an easy fix too.
Right, and I mean, I thought to myself, if someone would have asked me that question without having a return, I don't know that I would know what to do because you don't have that in front of you to be like, okay, what's going on with that?
Right, and the great part about, I harassed Amazon, and so now I'm going to compliment them. The great part is they are so willing to take back anything, no matter what you've done to it. If you say that somebody stole it, they're like, okay, we'll get another one out to you tomorrow.
Right.
So
That's
I mean,
good.
they have at least a good policy when it comes to returns or replacements.
And this is just one of those things, when you thought about the Whole Foods closing, you thought about, okay, the food, spoiling maybe, the people, the employees maybe not getting the hours that they're supposed to, and then of course the people not being able to shop where they had. But I don't think anyone even went even down that list of, oh my gosh, what about the Amazon returns, right?
Honestly, it kind of went over my head as well too. It did.
And if you have that issue, Julie just solved it for you. So there you go. You cancel the return. You select a new drop-off point. Happy returning, friends.
Seven, eight. This is way too tight.
Flora and Son. Okay.
Now that the writer's strike is over, you've likely heard some shows will be coming back.
That's right. Today we are getting a sneak peek of Flora and Son. The movie actually premieres on Apple TV at midnight. In WFMY News 2 Community, Chris has your movie review.
You've heard the saying music is a universal language, but not only is it a form of communication, it is also a form of emotional and spiritual healing. We've all experienced music like that, be it directly or indirectly, and in John Carney's Flora and Son, the power of music is on full display. And while the film may be a familiar tune, it still rings true to all who are willing to listen.
I can't go on like this, living in a shoebox with a kid who hates me.
Can't wait for the day I don't have to be here.
Go on! Go back to your dad! I might learn the guitar myself.
That's just too funny. Takes years of practice, commitment.
Are you really going to talk to me about commitment?
In Dublin, Ireland, Flora is a single mother trying to raise her rebellious teenage son, Max, who has had multiple run-ins with the law. In hopes to give him a hobby to better utilize his time and passions, Flora stumbles across an old guitar and, with the help of a Los Angeles-based guitar teacher named Jeff, she's hopeful that this new outlet will bring them closer together. Flora and Son may strum some common chords, but like most songs that sample prior work, it still has a beautiful melody that will tug on the heartstrings. John Carney has found his niche in crafting films based around music and the positive impacts it has upon those who it encounters, and this film is no different. Running at a little over 1 hour and 30 minutes, Flora and Son precisely knows how to utilize its runtime to emotionally stir the audience with its universal themes. Admittedly, within the first 15 minutes or so, Flora and Son reveals its cards, and you can kind of guess how it's going to end. And if it wasn't for the great combination of acting from Eve Hinson, Oren Kinlan, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, mixed with an emotionally poignant script, it may have rang off key. Flora and her son, Max, prove themselves to be such relatably flawed characters in their respective rights, and the music they share only expands their dynamic. Flora and Son is an intimate, breezy movie that you can stream while cuddling up with your favorite playlist. You may forget the mechanics of the story, you may forget the story itself, you may forget the characters, and you may even forget the music. But what you may not forget is the feeling that the movie and the music can give you. I'm giving Flora and Son a soft 2 approved. You can stream it only on Apple TV+.
soft.
Interesting. This is where I wish I started off with two different reviews. I think it's to approve, and then of course, for you to decide. I wish I could add another one because it's right in between those two. I feel like personally, it's not an enthusiastic approve. It's more like it is a nice watch. If you feel like it.
I just like how the picture of it all looks. We were talking about it, the cinematography.
Right.
I mean, it just looks so calm and.
It is. It is a nice. It's not a showy movie. It is more. It's showing the content of the script and what the actors can do with these characters. And we were joking. It's set in Dublin, Ireland, so you have to pay attention to the accents because as Americans, it's not exactly. We do not hear Irish accents every day.
You're giving it what my kids do. Instead of a thumbs up, thumbs down, they do the middle.
It's like it's like this. Like it's a little half. It's like up toward it. So that's what it would be.
So I have $1 million question. Do you play the guitar?
I used to back in the day.
Okay.
I haven't picked it up in forever, and I was making a joke when I was writing this, thinking I'm gonna play the guitar while I'm doing this.
I wish you had.
I wish so too,
so
but
cool.
it's so much
Very
work.
neat.
Do not have time.
Yeah, that's true. All right, thank you, Manny. We'll be right back.
Sunshine has returned to the forecast not only today, but also heading into your Friday. Tomorrow also going to be a little bit warmer with more sunshine, fueling those highs back in the middle and upper 70s. Also into this weekend, pretty much copy and paste forecast each day for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with more and more sunshine thanks to high pressure building into the area. Middle and upper 70s, super comfortable as we head into your weekend. 7-day forecast, you'll notice lots and lots of sunshine emojis, overnight lows in the middle and upper 50s. Pretty seasonal for this time of year with temperatures in the afternoons back in the middle and upper 70s, slowly approaching the lower 80s as we head into next week.
Give a huge shout out to one of our own. The North Carolina Association of Broadcasters named WFMY News 2's Megan Malera's Best News Anchor for 2023. This is a high praise award as it covers all stations across our state. Megan's talents shine on and off the camera, and we are pleased to have her here. On behalf of WFMY News 2, we would like to all say congratulations, Megan.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, today's the nicest day there's ever been weather-wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hi there, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico.
Hi, Brett. Millions of federal workers, including military members, won't get paychecks. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together like a classic combination.
The anchor. Can Kayana read the anchor intro to me, please, so I know what they're saying? Okay.
Maybe you're aware we have a 2 Wants to Know tip line. It's an outlet for people who are having consumer issues so they can contact our investigative team. Now, since the pandemic started, I've checked the voicemails on the tip line on a near daily basis. Lately, the vast majority of them have been about issues between landlords and their tenants, like every 4 out of 5 calls. Most of the calls have come from tenants who are dealing with unsafe or unhealthy living conditions. Mold, bed bugs, rats, flooded apartments, floors and ceilings caving in. Basically anything you can imagine that could go wrong in an apartment, someone is dealing with it. We get dozens of these types of calls every week. What most people don't know, many cities have what's called a landlord-tenant dispute program. It's an avenue for tenants to get help from the city if they're dealing with rental issues. You might be wondering, why do so many people have issues with their living conditions? I don't know the answer to that, but I do know it's gotten worse since the pandemic started. It seems more landlords aren't willing to make repairs to issues or simply can't afford it. So what's the solution? Well, first, do not, under any circumstances, stop paying your rent as a form of protest. You will be evicted. Beyond that, if you're dealing with an issue like this, and like Tanya has said many times in the past, make your complaint to your landlord in writing, not a text or a phone call, and keep documentation of the issues and your complaints. It's the best way to prove the issue and that you've tried to get it resolved. That's just my 2 cents. And your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now. We are on top of breaking news on WFMY News 2 at 5. We are just learning new details about a deadly shooting in High Point.
Within the last 20 minutes, we learned today's events actually started as a kidnapping in Kernersville and ended with that deadly shooting at a home in High Point. WFMY News 2's Amber Lake joins us live now at the scene in High Point. Amber, there's a lot going on in this case. Walk us through what you know.